Hi, all, and welcome to the show. Another comprehensive roundup of news and views around the world. Some intel, some big insights, some exposés, and some would say the most comprehensive. The words in that song left its seeds while I was sleeping. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening. Silence like a cancer grows, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. Take note of those words from that song, as it will echo not only in the sound of silence, but right through this very show. Before we start, I've got wind of not one, but two separate bogus reports on me that have circulated in certain corridors and amongst some of our members in the past week. A cursory glance at the allegations renders it fake, but the people who circulate this bullshit rely on the fact most people won't fully read the details and or check it out for validity. A simple check will reveal that my middle name is George, not Arthur, or the fact that I've only visited Canada once in 2016 for a total of 4 days, which was 69 years after the alleged crime cited to another person of the same name, same first and last name, who was a resident of Canada. A copy of my old passports will prove that, and I still have all of them. And that is how they get away with peddling their lies. And what sad lives those people lead, whose whole existence, it seems, is based on discrediting one man. Well, it was a nice try, but it failed again. Now, should this type of fake allegations be pushed any further or brought up again, I am now considering taking those people involved to court for defamation of character, which is easily provable. And it will prove costly to those who have been involved with and in it. It's all very disappointing, but it is what it is. Right, I hope you all are enjoying the bitterly cold Lee Canop weather. I guess global warming has been put on hold again, with record-breaking low temperatures recorded in most states in the past week. Now, predictably, the media are playing it all down, all too content to state record high temperatures and low rainfall, but when the reverse happens, out go the documentary pieces on those events. And I hope the many who have lost power and water get it back as quickly as possible. But there is a mention of energy, food and water shortage later in the show, which may or may not connect some more dots. The banning of free speech globally continues, it seems, and it's time for the alt media to take actions en masse and fight back. While some physicians are being treated as medical heretics, Google's search engine algorithm has essentially ended traffic to all of their websites. And then we come to Poland. They closed all private TV channels whilst keeping the 3 government channels operating. Private internet platforms not working as well either. Meanwhile, in India, their space agency has partnered with Map My India, a tech company specializing in digital map data to build an alternative to Google Maps. Now, the announcement comes as India rolled out local alternatives to Twitter and WhatsApp. New Delhi's relations with those tech giants have turned quite sour lately after it imposed a new digital tax on companies operating in India. Word of caution. Don't just think because it is an alternative, it is better. Talking about social media companies, the American social networking company Twitter announced on Wednesday its financial results for the fiscal year 2020, saying it recorded a net loss of $1.136 billion against net income a year earlier. For the benefit of John Hopkins, that's a 1 with a tiny dot, 136 billion. And according to the company, 2020 net loss of practically 1.14 billion, representing a loss of 31%, and this compares to 2019's net income of 1.47 billion, representing a net margin of 42%. Elon Musk may end up running 4 plus $500 billion companies simultaneously at a relatively young age. And there was questions about him this week, and the question was, what I want to really understand, how does he do it? How does he manage context switching? Musk replied without missing a beat, and took the opportunity, perhaps, to come clean about his true identity, stated, "I am an alien." To which Shah, who was questioning him, jokingly replied, "Entropy confirmed." Indeed. Portland police officers say they remained out of sight as much as possible after being pelted with snowballs by protesters who would go on to damage multiple businesses after the police retreat. And it said Portland, Oregon continues to deal with protests turning violent, even though the police are bending over backwards to stay out of sight. And that is according to the latest police statement on Friday, where after a violent protest took place in Portland. Violent anarchy reigns in this country, it seems. And I wonder, will Biden get impeached for not encouraging the police to stop it? Maybe not. A New York hospital threw out an 80-year-old woman who had been married for 60 years for the heinous actions of holding her husband's hand. I kid you not. She was escorted out by 2 security guards and made to feel like a criminal after a Milgram experiment nurse caught her reaching out to hold her husband's hand. Really? That woman is not a nurse. He or she is an anti-human enforcement unit and should be fired. Now, one of the security guards who escorted her out apologised and told her mother, "I'm just doing my job. I don't necessarily agree with what I have to do here." Zeke Heil, Mr. Security Guard. The officers in the camps of death said that as well. Just saying. Wrong is wrong. And no one should be put in a position of doing wrong. And all the people should have the damn balls to tell their Gestapo bosses, this is wrong and I am not doing it. Courage of convictions is required by us all, not silent complicity. Her Majesty's government banner in the UK this week states this: travelling abroad, the rules have changed. You will need to quarantine on return. Going on holiday is currently illegal. Seriously. Holidays are illegal. Oh my. What type of rhetoric is that to the public? How about we the people do a banner about a company operating as a fake government being declared illegal? Also, another news, some media are now turning against the vaccine narrative. Panorama, which is a major UK documentary show, have done a piece on the World Doctors Alliance reveal the truth. And other papers are now following and are now questioning. Oops. Speaking of the World Doctors Alliance, they, among many other leading figures like Dr. Judy Mikovits and Vernon Coleman, arguing against this medical tyranny globally, were part of a video released this week that also included excerpts from our show. Good stuff. So, as I predicted last month, Trump was acquitted on charges of inciting a riot, which was a ridiculous suggestion to begin with. And it also tells you it was a complete distraction and a further waste of American people's money that would be better spent giving people food, medicine and housing. But no, the jackass politicians wanting to play children on a national stage show their levels of incompetency and crass stupidity for the whole world to see. And what has brought this about is the ever-increasing narrative of I'm offending or offended by anything and everything, where words are twisted into a negative spin and the resulting word salad chaos ensues. Only an idiot with child-level thinking would contemplate Trump's words into luring people to attack the Capitol building. And the point is, how are we going to advance as a species with this level of childlike pettiness? The answer is, we won't. And the question is, when and where are the solutions? And the answer is, it lies within everyone. Here's a couple of solutions that all people can do. First, delete GoOgle search engine, and then delete Twitter. They can ban people all they like then with no participants. That hits them both in the pockets, as a lack of flow through their sites then hampers their advertising money-making scheme and their data harvesting. Is the world getting worse? Absolutely. Is it worse than the past? Absolutely not. This level of madness, crass stupidity, greed, evilness and heinous practices has gone on throughout your life. You just never knew or saw it. It is now collapsing in on itself. And that is not something to fear. It is something to be embraced. The old world ultimately failed us all, including the clowns, elites and bloodlines. They have corrupted themselves onto a path which will have long-lasting implications on their karma and soul development. It is an opportunity now to rebuild and renew the whole planet in a better way. We at THI and TPC charted a basic, easy to follow, but hard to adapt due to the programming system of a new blueprint for humanity. Others may malign it, others try to copy it, but neither have the right intent or heart-centered belief behind it. We do. One of the things overlooked as people look out into the other world and see so much carnage is, A, they forgot to observe, not absorb, and B, you tend to forget the many lives that have improved dramatically in THI. Irregardless of how bad the other world is, we at THI have made big progress on the people level, and that must not be forgotten.